Welcome back to another episode of SmegChris Review. I told you I'd go back to the Once in a Blue Moon shows. Anyway, before I start on with the movie review, I want to show you a comic book that I've just started collecting. As long as they keep having them in store. I'm still waiting for my copy of Doomsday Clock. Yes, Forbidden Planet, I'm looking at you. Anyway, the book I'm talking about is this, John Wick. And yes, it's based on the movies. The story does take place before the movies. In fact, it's the story of how he got into the assassin game, but we also see some of John's childhood. And as you can see from a few of these frames, the art is pretty good. The story's pretty decent as well, written by Greg Pak, who has done a lot for DC and Marvel, so it's in pretty good hands. As far as I know, this is just a mini-series and not a fully fledged run, so if you don't fancy buying the individual comics, I'm sure there'll be a collected edition at some point next year. Mind you, these days all comics are put into collected editions, but where's the fun in that? Although I might have to for Doomsday Clock. Now onto my movie review for Star Wars The Last Jedi. Or as we proper die-hard Star Wars fans will call it, The Last Jedi. I've just realised they've cut out the Episode 8 part of the title. Are they learning? Sorry, sidetracked. So there have been many mixed reviews of the film. Some say it's the best Star Wars ever made. Some say they couldn't understand it because it was so confusing. I don't agree with either. The story is simple, no giant plot lines, just two simple ones. Rey spends most of the movie trying to convince Luke Skywalker to train her. Meanwhile, she's also doing this sort of magic flirt thing with Kylo Ren. The other storyline is that the First Order is chasing down the last of the Resistance. One thing I noticed, and I'm pretty sure everybody else did as well, is that The Force Awakens is basically the same as the original Star Wars film. No, not A New Hope, Star Wars. That's its original title and that's what it will always be. To me anyway. With The Last Jedi, we get a mixture of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Which kind of makes me worried for the next one. Are they going to do a mixture of the prequel trilogy? Will Jar Jar Binks return? I shudder to think. And I also noticed another thing. A lot of things weren't explained, like for example the character of Snoke. Where did he come from? Where did he get his powers from? Who is he? And the sad fact is, I don't think we'll ever find out. So far I've made the film sound like it isn't very good. Well, it's not great, but it's no prequel trilogy either. In fact, I think it's better than The Force Awakens. And if memory serves, I gave that a 9 out of 10. Okay, let me get on to the good points. For example, there is a lot of humour that is a joy to watch. After the long, overly filmed moment at the end of the last film where Rey's holding out the lightsaber to Luke Skywalker, seeing what Luke did next was brilliant. Chewbacca had a limited amount of scenes but he stole everyone he was in. We saw a cameo from a familiar face that was heartwarming, and plenty of nostalgia. Oh, and I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed the final scenes, giving us a pretty cool payoff. At least we're not left with a cliffhanger where the camera's panning around teasing us. Oh, and the film has plenty of cool moments. Chewbacca's entrance, a sacrifice to save others, Chewbacca's mealtime, Rey and Kylo's lightsaber battle, Chewbacca's new pets, Luke and Leia's reunion and what happens after that, and Chewbacca's piloting skills. Like I said, Chewbacca stole every scene he was in. And I have to say it, John Williams' score was brilliant, but when isn't it? I still love all the new characters, Rey, Finn, Poe, BB-8, and now a new face, Rose. And Luke seemed to be more fun this time round as well. As for Leia, Carrie Fisher's final performance was terrific. She'll be sorely missed in the next movie. There is plenty to enjoy of the film, but it still felt like a rehash of what has happened before. Again, let's hope the next one's going to be fresh and not a repeat of what came before. Like I said earlier, let's hope they don't look at the prequels. Overall, I give The Last Jedi it's still better than The Force Awakens. Maybe I should knock that down to 8 out of 10. I reckon on my next episode I'll be doing my annual top 10 films of the year, but I still have one more film to see before that. Hopefully that'll happen very soon. Well, it's time for me to go. Thanks for watching and subscribing if you have. Until the next time, peace out. I don't know if you've noticed, but I found it very difficult to film this episode because I have the cold. Not a cold, the cold. It slowly creeped up on me through my throat and then it went boom in my nose and then it was just like Niagara Falls. Today's the first time it stopped being so runny, but I can still feel it clogging around in my throat. It's so dry. So if you notice my voice was going from okay and normal to what it's doing right now, don't worry about it. It doesn't help that I've got the heating off and I'm getting very, very cold right now.